Hello and welcome to the Better Health Program. My name is Lisa McNichol-Gatton and I'm the Health and Wellness Coordinator with the City of Albuquerque's Human Resources Department in the Insurance and Benefits Division. And I manage the employee wellness program called Better Health. And the mission of our program is to reduce chronic health conditions related to inadequate levels of physical activity, poor nutrition, and tobacco use, especially smoking. And today we're going to focus on nutrition, and the specific topic of our program is how to increase fruit and vegetable intake on a daily basis. Our community is really in need of increasing our intake of fruits and vegetables because in the Albuquerque metro area, only about 23% of our adults consume enough fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. And similarly, our high school students in Bernalillo County are also lacking in taking in enough fruits and vegetables. 23% also only get enough. And so what this means is that 1 in 4 of our adults and high school students are getting enough, and 3 out of 4 are not. So we have some work to do here, and I hope that this program helps everyone to increase their intake or at least become more aware of what they're eating. We are going to focus on 4 key areas related to fruits and vegetables today, and the key areas are fighting disease, weight management, getting a colorful variety, and I want to provide some tools and resources. And I just hope that you can use some of these tools after the program. So with me today are our guests, dietitian Jenny McCary and wellness intern Kelsey Bullard. And both Jenny and Kelsey are with the Solutions Group, which is a new division of Presbyterian Healthcare Services. Jenny has a master's degree in nutrition from UNM, and she has been working with the Presbyterian Healthcare Services for 2.5 years. Prior to that, about 9 years with APS. And Kelsey is a senior at UNM, and she is finishing up her last semester in her undergraduate study of nutrition and dietetics. So once she finishes that, she'll go on to take the RD exam and be in the field like Jenny. So welcome, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Well, let's go ahead and get to the heart of the matter. Jenny, why is it so important that we eat an ample amount of fruits and vegetables in our daily pattern of eating?
Well, really, we need to consider fruits and vegetables as the superheroes of the diet. They are powerful disease fighters. They are packed with vitamins and minerals and fiber, which is important for overall health and as well as disease prevention. So a diet that is high in fruits and vegetables may prevent some cancers. It may prevent some other chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, stroke, help in reducing risk of heart disease as well.
So fruits and vegetables play a key role in disease prevention.
Absolutely.
And we have such a problem, and the cost of chronic conditions to our society is enormous, and without any improvements, it's only going to get worse. So, you laid it out, the basis of our whole program. Kelsey, how many fruits and vegetables should men, women, and children be eating each day?
Well, that's going to depend on your age, the gender, and how much physical activity you're getting. Okay. So say women 30 to 50 years old who are moderately active, meaning that they're exercising 30 minutes a day, they're going to need about 1.5 cups of fruits and 2.5 cups of vegetables per day.
Okay.
Whereas that's going to increase a little bit for men with the same age, 30 to 50, same activity level, 30 minutes a day. They're going to increase to about 2 cups of fruit a day and 3 cups of vegetables a day.
Okay.
Which, leads to the question, what is a cup or a serving? So we have some food models, and this is about a cup of vegetables or beans. And here's a cup of fruit or blackberries. So, not excessive amounts, but, and it's important to note that the more physical activity you're getting, the more calories your body needs, so you aren't going to increase your fruit and vegetable intake.
Okay, great. Yeah, so thinking in terms of the cups, so, we're looking at about 5 cups, you said for the women age range. So it just takes a little time to get used to what the cup looks like, right?
Right, what a serving is.
And just start measuring maybe in the beginning, and then you get accustomed to eating about that much.
Right.
Okay, this is helpful with the food models. I'm glad you brought them on. Jenny, how can fruit and vegetable intake help a person maintain a healthy weight?
Well, the foundation of weight management, we know, is balancing calories. And along with making healthy food choices, like making sure you're eating enough fruits and vegetables, paying attention to calories matters. And fruits and vegetables are naturally low in fat, they're low in calories, and they're filling. So when someone is cutting back on calories or trying to eat less food, finding foods that are filling but don't contain a lot of calories is going to be important. And so that's where fruits and vegetables come in. They're packed with fiber, they're packed with water, and so they're filling. So they're, the bottom line is they are going to satisfy somebody who's cutting back on food with fewer calories. Another great benefit of fruits and vegetables is that you can use them to substitute for other foods. So take a favorite recipe such as enchiladas or a pasta casserole or some burritos, and you can reduce the meat or reduce the cheese, which we know are high in calories, and replace it with fruits, or not fruits, but vegetables. Fruits would be interesting. Something, like squash, like zucchini or spinach or chard, you could add to pasta dishes, to enchiladas, to burritos, and increase the volume of that meal without adding a lot of calories. And if you are substituting, you're actually probably reducing the amount of calories.
Okay, so in maybe a mango salsa in that fruit realm that you were talking about?
That would be a great addition, yeah. I also like to suggest things like spaghetti squash instead of noodles.
Okay.
Using raw cauliflower is great too. You can grate the raw cauliflower, saute it up, and that can be a substitute for rice.
Oh,
so there's some really fun ways to use fruits and vegetables as substitutions.
Definitely. With the Better Health program, we recently conducted a program called the Colorful Choices. And it's a 6-week program, and we had about 350 employees register, and what we saw was a great increase in fruits and vegetable consumption over the 6 weeks. In fact, a lot of people that participated went from taking in 1 to 2 servings a day and moved into 3 to 5 or more servings per day. So in 6 weeks, it just took a little bit of time. But we had a few comments from the participants. One woman said that she didn't gain her usual holiday 10 pounds by doing the challenge around the holiday season. So that was very interesting. And then another person talked about losing 5 pounds. She just made sure that she had her apple as a snack instead of her chips. So she did the substitution for that high calorie, like you were saying, the high calorie items, and maybe not always snack foods, but probably snack foods. And what I noticed from doing these types of challenges and trying to help people eat more vegetables and fruit each day is that you become so aware of what you're eating and how many. And when you eat a lot, you did well, you planned it all out. But when you didn't eat a lot, what happened? What was I eating instead? And you see those higher calorie dense foods.
Right, yeah. So the substitution piece is really important. You don't want to just add fruits and vegetables to your diet and not change anything else. You want to just definitely be aware of those higher calorie items, especially if you're trying to manage your weight.
Okay.
Those are great success stories from that fruit and vegetable challenge.
I was happy to hear that. And the intention wasn't to lose weight, but they commented on the weight loss. So I'm happy about it. So along this line, Jenny, can a person eat too many fruits and vegetables, and what are the consequences?
Well, you wouldn't think so, or you might not think so, because fruits and vegetables are so healthy. But yes, absolutely. Somebody can eat too much of a good thing. So along the same lines of weight management and trying to manage calories, just being aware that fruits and vegetables are low in calories and fat, but they still contain calories. So you can overdo it and then kind of go over your daily calorie budget, especially if you're relying on, well, we know avocados are high in calories, so they're like 120 calories per half of an avocado compared to 60 calories in an orange. So that, is twice the amount of calories there. If someone's eating a lot of dried fruit, the calories can really increase if they're eating a lot of that. But as far as other consequences, if you're eating too much fruits and vegetables, and it mainly happens when you eat too much at once or too much too soon, you might have some GI upset. So gas and bloating, diarrhea or constipation, that could happen if we bump up our fiber too much, too quickly. Okay. So the recommendation would be, if you don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables now, gradually introduce those high fiber foods into your diet. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, which will help with the digestion of that.
Oh, nice. That's a good reminder about the water intake with it. Yeah. And even the feeling of fullness, because the soluble fiber, of course, is going to absorb that water, so a little more is always helpful. All right, and people with diabetes, they need to watch the number of fruits and vegetables that they intake. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say my recommendation for everybody, and this actually follows the new, fairly new national recommendations too, is, take a look at your plate and aim to fill half of your plate with fruits and vegetables at every meal. And that goes for people with diabetes and just generally healthy people as well. People with diabetes need to be aware of the amount of carbohydrates that they're eating. So go for more non-starchy vegetables, such as a lot of the leafy greens. Be aware of what vegetables are starchy, like potatoes and some squash and corns and peas.
Okay, good. Well, that's helpful because, we probably have several people in our audience with diabetes, so that might help them in particular. So Kelsey, does eating beans count? You showed the pinto bean example.
Yes, we love beans.
Okay.
Beans are a very unique vegetable in that, they provide all the vitamins and minerals and fiber that most vegetables do, but they're also an excellent plant source of protein. So not only are they protein, but they're an affordable food item. So, and easy to prepare. Here in New Mexico, it's pinto beans, black beans, they're part of our cultural cuisine. So not only are you getting fiber and vegetable mineral and the vitamins that are there, but you're getting protein, especially for vegetarians.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of varieties, and it's so easy to make, using the crock pot, and so that's really it's good to know, and just to keep in mind, you count your vegetables, count your beans as vegetables too, and as a protein source. So it's a win-win.
Yes, 2 for 1.
All right, so back to Jenny. The National Dietary Guidelines emphasize eating more red and orange and dark leafy green vegetables and fruit, as well as beans. Can you share with us some of the special properties of these color food groups?
Well, eating a full spectrum of colorful fruits and vegetables is important because each color provides a different package of nutrients, including vitamins and minerals, as well as natural substances in all plants called phytochemicals. So that means plant chemicals.
Okay.
They're naturally occurring. Plants create them to help defend themselves, and when we consume them, we get those. We get that protection as well. So the pigments in fruits and vegetables are where those phytochemicals are. The phytochemicals create those pigments. So the colors, the red, the orange, and the green fruits and vegetables are emphasized because they contain vitamin A and vitamin C and potassium and folate. And those are vitamins and minerals that most Americans need to eat more of from their diet. So that's why those colors are emphasized. The red is colored by lycopene. So if we think of like tomatoes, especially going for cooked tomato products, which help release the lycopene from that vegetable. The red color is also, could be anthocyanin, another powerful plant chemical. So essentially, some of these have antioxidant properties, so at the cellular level, they're protecting our cells from damage.
Okay.
So I encourage people to, go for more color. So strawberries, raspberries, grapes, they can keep the heart healthy as well. The orange are colored by carotenoids. So we might actually think more like the orange groups, high in vitamin C, focusing on citrus fruits. But the sweet potatoes, some squashes, carrots, high in the beta carotene, which can be an immune booster and help with eye health as well.
Very important.
Yeah. The green fruits and vegetables are colored by the chemical chlorophyll. And dark leafy greens especially are emphasized, so like spinach and kale and chard, are included in that group. So they also contain some other phytochemicals, lutein and zeaxanthin, which have a role in promoting eye health and can help reduce the risk of cataracts and macular degeneration. And then the green group is especially emphasized because they contain the cruciferous vegetables as well, so like the broccoli and the cabbage, kale I mentioned, which are very cancer preventative.
Well, I like how you talked about how those components, color the vegetable and the fruit. I had no idea in thinking in terms of that. I do know from that program that we recently ran, and then other programs, where they talk about certain, super fruits and vegetables, the top choices as they called with our recent program, the deeper colored. So would that just mean more of those special properties that you mentioned?
Yeah, absolutely. So the more color and the deeper the color, the more concentrated source of those nutrients and the phytochemicals you're going to find.
Okay.
So going for more of the richer, the darker color versus like the pale colors.
Okay.
Anthocyanins is what's responsible for the blue-purple pigments
Okay.
in these vegetables and fruits like eggplant, blackberries, blueberries. And anthocyanins are thought to help reduce inflammation and protect blood vessel health, which leads back to cardiovascular disease, blood pressure, all of those chronic diseases.
So they're very important.
Very important to get those colors in.
And there, you mentioned a few, and what I found is, there aren't a lot of vegetables and fruit in the blue and purple category, so we just have to make a special effort probably to find those.
Yes, to search those out.
Get them in daily. Okay. So we can't neglect the white vegetables and fruit. So Jenny, does this food group color contain many nutrients?
Right, so we just talked about it's really important to go for the deep, rich, dark colors. But white and tan brown fruits and vegetables certainly are nutritious too. So we don't want to discount those and what they can provide to the diet. So like potatoes and bananas, which we might think of as yellow, but they fit in that white group, are a great source of potassium. Onions and garlic would fit into this, and they provide allicin, one of those plant chemicals that can help lower blood pressure and lower cholesterol.
And what about mushrooms?
And mushrooms are in that group as well, yeah, and have some benefits. Yeah, there's actually been some studies showing that just the kind of mushrooms that you can get in any supermarket, regular button mushrooms, are a good source of vitamin D, which is really difficult to get from the diet naturally, and many people are deficient in it. And interestingly enough, could be kind of from the lights in the supermarkets, kind of naturally producing that vitamin D.
Okay, so while we don't want a plate just full of white, for those that don't eat a lot of vegetables and fruit, they are getting some nutrients, but the whole idea here is just a colorful plate every meal.
The National Fruits and Veggies More Matters campaign states that all forms matter. So fresh, frozen, canned, dried, juiced, they all count. But there are some things that I would challenge viewers to watch out for. So like canned, typically you would watch for more sodium.
Okay.
The dried fruit, as Jenny mentioned earlier, might have more calories and sugar, concentrated sugar. the packaged fruit, that they market to the kids for snacks or lunch. Sometimes they can be just literally in a sugar syrup. So you just want to make sure that it's in 100% juice, and then yes, you are getting the same nutrients.
And in the vegetables, like in the frozen section, say a creamed corn or a creamed spinach.
Right.
Well, what's the issue with that?
Well, that's the cream.
Not the cream.
So you want to avoid the cream. It's going to add fat, sugar, sodium, So anything that's just the ingredient is the vegetable is the best option.
Okay. And this campaign, the Fruits and Veggies More Matters, they have a logo that you can look for right on the packages. If they meet a healthy criteria, this campaign will let these companies put their logo on, and Fruits and Veggies More Matters. So look for that logo.
Look for the logo, yes.
In the supermarket. They're everywhere, really.
And to add to that, I rely a lot on canned beans just because of convenience. And they do have low sodium or no added salt varieties of canned beans. So, just looking for that on the front of the package, or flipping the can over and doing a comparison as far as sodium amount is good. And you can also rinse the beans, the canned beans, and reduce the sodium that way.
Okay, good practical tip. So, Jenny, what should the food gatekeepers in our audience, how might you guide them when they're shopping? And these are the people that basically make the food decisions for the household. They tend to shop and decide what we're going to eat for dinner. What do you say?
Well, I guess I always like to first recommend to plan. So before you hit the grocery store, have a plan before going in there. So you're shopping from a list, and ideally you have some sort of flexible meal plan you're working from. You can use the sales flyer, so the store circulars that come out in the mail, or you can pick up from the stores, and really use those to guide your meal planning and your shopping list. So, if you see that, spinach or chard or kale's like 2 for $3, that might be a great week to buy a lot of the leafy greens and figure out how to work those into your meal plan. Then I also suggest, once you get to the store, to start in the produce section. So a lot of people do the opposite because they don't want to mash the fresh fruits and vegetables. But I suggest start off positive with a cart full of colorful fruits and vegetables. And just like your plate, I suggest to people to fill half of their cart with fruits and vegetables.
Oh, nice.
So it doesn't have to be all fresh. As Kelsey mentioned, all forms count. So it can be from the frozen section or the canned section, as well as the fresh section. And then what's really important is, we can have really good intentions and buy all this fruits and vegetables, and then we shove it away in our bin in the fridge and forget about it. So we have to have some sort of plan to work that in. If you're relying a lot of fresh produce, I suggest using that at the beginning of the week so that it doesn't go bad, and rely more on the canned and the frozen at the end of the week.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so we want to avoid that garbage can of good intentions, and figure out ways that we might be able to prep some of that fresh produce when we have the time, whether it's as we're unloading the groceries or later that evening.
Yeah, well, I know in my home I'm always thinking, we've got to eat this, I don't want it to go bad, I don't want to waste, the salad is starting to turn. So yeah, we're definitely always on it to try to eat it, and so it's not a big brown mess in the fridge after a while if you forget. So we have time for just a few more questions. Wanted to leave the viewers with some tools. So Kelsey, let me bounce this back to Jenny. Any tools that you would recommend to our viewers to try to increase their intake?
Well, so we mentioned the plate. I think that's a great place to start. Fill half your plate with fruits and vegetables, and then focus on color. So set a goal maybe to aim for 2 to 3 colors, different colors at every meal, which might be a huge difference for a lot of people. So start with 2 different colors and then kind of go from there. Okay. You might write down all the fruits and vegetables that you eat, just as individuals did in the challenge, but this is just on paper. And then categorize those by color, so you can identify like, I'm doing really good in the red category, but the blue and purples, maybe I need to get a little bit more of those. And then, maybe go to a store and see what kind of fun tools are out there for helping cook fruit and vegetables and make it a little more exciting. So steaming vegetables is a great way to retain nutrients. And so, steamer baskets such as this is available at most stores.
And that's a nice, easy way at just adding a steamed vegetable to your dinner. I mean, how simple is that, really? So nice tool, I like it. Kelsey, this may be our last question. So any online resources you can recommend for people to learn more?
Yes, fruitsandveggiesmorematters.org is a great resource. Lots of information, very user-friendly. And then the second one that I use all the time is choosemyplate.gov. And this has, tips and tricks to include more fruits and vegetables. And it also has a really neat super tracker tool. So it'll allow you, like Jenny was saying, if you're more online, to track what you are eating online. And there you can actually track by color of fruits and vegetables, along with physical activity too. So
good.
It's a nice round tool.
Okay. If I have time for one quick question, is organic better than conventional? Last question, final.
Sure, I'm sure people are wondering that. So there are some studies that show, there has been a study that showed organic tomatoes, for example, are higher in vitamin C and have more antioxidant power. But overall, the evidence shows that there isn't a real difference between organic and conventional as far as nutritional quality. So what I suggest to people is if organic fits within your food budget, buy organic, especially the fruits and vegetables that you're eating on a daily basis. Apples, celery, cucumbers. And then if organic doesn't fit, if buying organic doesn't fit within your food budget, just know that eating fruits and vegetables, the benefits of eating fruits and vegetables far, outweighs any potential risks of eating conventional.
Okay, and we just need to rinse them really well under running water, and we're good to go. All right, well, thank you so much for sharing this information. You both have a lot of knowledge. I hope you get credit for this interview, and good luck with your school and your test, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
I hope this discussion has been helpful to our viewers. Please take advantage of the tools we've mentioned, and we hope to see you soon on another related topic to our Better Health program. Be well.